Hello, I'm Maddie, also known as Hello Interloper here on YouTube. So, today I'm going to teach you about a really important resource for determining whether or not you want to sell a certain unit. So, we all know when we pull a hatcher, sometimes we get really good units. We know they're good units because, they're either what we were trying to get from a certain hatcher, or we're just familiar with them, or we looked at the tier list. Who knows? But usually, these are ones that have a 6-star evolution to them. So we automatically know they're great. Don't really need to look online. Or at least they're usable in some shape or form. Now, 5 stars are a little more tricky. 4 stars we can generally sell, except for, of course, ducks, frogs, whatever. You don't want to really sell those kinds of units. Just go ahead and use them. If you really need room, don't sell them. Don't ever sell ducks. But generally, 5 stars are a little trickier because every time that we go into a mission or quest, we get to see a lot of 6 stars. Everybody brings their 6 stars to Wizards, Ultimates, whatever we're doing, and you kind of get a good idea of what is a good 6 star just from experience. Either you see them very commonly, or, you get to see them in action and you're just like, wow, that's a lot of damage, or that's a lot of recovery, or that skill's really good. When I saw Seki, I knew from the start, wow, that's a unit I really want someday, because she was doing a lot of damage and her skill was really cool. Of course, that's a 6 star. You see 6 stars all the time once you get later into the game. 5 stars, not so much. When you see a 5 star as in a unit that has a maximum evolution of 5, you don't really know whether or not they're great. And the thing about 5 stars is that some of them are really good, some of them are not so good, but either way, you're going to need a few of them because there are some quests that require you to have units that are under 30 cost. For instance, red hair. You're going to need red hair to awaken some units, and red hair is really annoying because you can only use units with less than 30 cost, which means 6 stars are completely out of the question. The helper unit you bring along, because it's solo only, that doesn't matter. They can be any cost. They're a helper. But your units absolutely have to be under 30 cost, or you will get completely annihilated, and all that energy goes to waste. So you need 5 stars for certain things. But since 5 stars are just so hard to gauge, sometimes you just don't know whether or not they're worth keeping. You gotta read the skills and the crash abilities and all this stuff, and sometimes it's just not very clear. And that's where a resource like Game8 comes in. Now, Game8 is a Japanese website. And the nice thing about Game8 is you can find out whether some of these 5 stars are not only good for cost 30 maximum quests, but also you get to find out if they have a 6-star version in the Japanese version of the game. Now, the reason why this is particularly important is because we will someday get all of Japan's 6 stars, maybe not event collaborations, but for regular pulls, 5 stars that you get from hatchers and so on, we will someday see those 6 stars that are in the Japanese version in the global version. We're a few months behind in terms of progression in the game, because Japan gets everything first. It is a Japanese game, and then eventually it will come onto global. So if you're willing to save a 5 star in your inventory for a few months, it might be worthwhile because a 6 star version might be released down the line. So let's use an example here that I found has a 6 star version, of course by using Game8. We'll look at her first of all, and you can do this with any 5 star unit. Of course she's 4 stars, but she has a 5 star maximum. Now, you see here, she is water, and she is a deity. and she's also a stamina type. You don't have to remember all of these. Just 2 of them, water and deity, is enough. So now what you want to do is open up Google, and I would recommend doing this on a tablet or computer just because phones are very small and it might be hard to navigate. But open up Google, type in Game8 Crash Fever, and this will be the website that pops up. If you're opening it in Chrome, it'll automatically translate into English. Otherwise, you might have to actually copy and paste the link into Google Translate's website and, have it translate through that browser that you're using. But generally put, Chrome is a great browser. Automatic translations are great. So, what I want to do then is go to all unit list, which is over here. Now, I'm sorry that this is kind of small. Unfortunately, I have it open on my tablet, so everything is smaller than it should be, and I can't really zoom in. If I try to zoom, it doesn't work. I don't know why. So that's going to take a few seconds to translate here. There we go. It's in English. And then down here is unit search. So now I will put in blue, and the type was deity. Now, of course, it's not an exact translation, but we pretty much know that deity is the same word as God. So we know that we're looking for a blue god. So now we click search, and the results will come up. Now, it's going to take a moment for this to go into English. Or 2 moments. Come on. There we go. It's in English. So, first off, I'm just going to say here, up on the top, fool of a stupid person is fears. I had to click on that link just because I was like, wow, fool of a stupid person, that's the best translation I've ever seen. So I had to click on it. But it's fears, which makes sense because he does have the fool mask there. Maybe it's a she, I don't know. I didn't look for boobs. That's pretty much, in this game, you look for boobs, and that's how you're able to tell whether someone is a girl or a boy. Because there's a lot of men in this game that look like women. And then, of course, we have Beelzebub and Fornius, who I found out is a guy, and that's why it's Deceitful Duchess, because it's a guy posing as a little girl or something. I don't know, but there's no boobs. And somewhere it said he, and I was like, I'm a little confused. Anyway, back to our original goal of looking up a 5-star. If we see here, the rarity is over here. I'm going to use my handy dandy paint tool here. Here's Thetis. And it says here that the rarity is 6 stars. And what it means by rarity is the maximum rarity. Here, everything is ranked by its maximum rarity, so it's got a 6-star ranking. That's a little weird because, in global, the maximum was 5. See, the Japanese version has a 6-star version, so let's see if it's actually worth keeping. Well, that's where things get a little interesting. It's a 65, which means it's the same kind of goodness as Fornius, but that's, Fornius Unawakened. I don't know where... Oh, they don't have Awakened Fornius on this because he is a demon. Duh. But either way, so now we know that the maximum is actually 6 stars in the Japanese version. So one day, Global will get a 6-star version, but we can actually click it and find out a little bit more about this unit. And let's just go here. And we can see right off the bat, 65 out of 100, rating C for unit performance, C for multiple performance. So I guess multiple performance is kind of overall, ability, like where it can be used. I don't know. But it says that the strong points are high HP, and the crash skills are not affected by debuffs because it's in proportion to maximum HP. But it looks like not very strong in attack and weak in fever, and recovery is also unsatisfactory. So it seems here that she's not that great. Yeah, the HP maximum is 8,352. Offensive power maximum is 3,059. And resilience, which is recovery, is 2,185. That's pretty low. So, basically, she's okay. She's not great. But if you need a stamina type unit, that's a 6-star someday, you might want to keep her around in your inventory because one day she will be given a 6-star form. Now I'm going to go back and just kind of check here, and I'm going to look up a certain monkey. Now I know green animal, we will find Hanuman. There we go, Hanuman. My dog just sighed. Are you getting sick of my talking? I'm sure you are. So, you can also look up a 5-star that doesn't have a 6-star form, and that's okay if the 5-star you are looking up doesn't have a 6-star form, because you might actually need one for a quest, such as red hair, although Hanuman's not really the best choice for red hair. But there's some other that I can't think of that has a maximum of 30. And unfortunately, this is not wanting to translate. But if this did translate, you'd be able to see the strengths and weaknesses of the unit and kind of get a kind of recommendation of where to use the unit, which is quite nice. So that way you can find out whether or not it's worth saving for just the future. You know, if you come across a cost 30 capped quest and you need some 5-stars. So, yeah, this advertisement's really freaking me out. Adult airway management trainer with board. I think it's because I think this thing's listening to me because I was just talking about EMTs earlier. Yeah, that's creepy. Yep. But basically, yeah, those things, you perform CPR on them. That's how you get past the test. Random little fact. So basically, that's how you check a 5-star. Whether or not you want to know if it is good for 30 capped missions or if it has a 6-star version. So if it does have a 6-star version and you like the way it performs based on Game8's review, might as well keep it around. As for Thetis or whatever in my inventory, I think I'm going to get rid of her just because I have so many blue units and they're a lot better than 65 rated. So I could use the ghost points more than I could use her. Anyway, hope this was helpful, and hope you might discover one of your 5-stars actually does have a 6-star form in the future. And who knows, maybe they're good or maybe they're bad. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, best of luck to everybody. Take care.